welcome to Phil's Corner. The recently renovated Phil's Corner, which we're still doing up, but we're here nonetheless. And welcome to the Hot Wall, our regular show, and good to see some familiar faces. We've got Haunted Voyager, Brock, Ragav. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. And yeah, if you didn't see already, we have just reached, I think we've just reached 3,000 subscribers. Usually when you announce these milestones, people then quickly unsubscribe and knock you back down. But we're at 3K, which is great. Really, really cool. Obviously, I've said it many times. I think I've said it since the start of the channel. This is very early days of the channel. Lots of plans to grow it further. But thank you for being a part of this journey at the start. You know, one day I've got dreams of having a plaque up on the walls, but we'll get there. One day maybe. If not, we'll have some fun along the way anyway. And yeah, there's a lot of kits to go through. Obviously, many people know we're kind of catching up. I think today we'll do about an hour stream, and we'll have to do a couple of more, afternoon long streams to catch up, because of course release season is kicking in. There's been so many new kits. And the leaks are just, whether it's leaks or actual releases, we saw Roma's kit this morning. So today we're probably still, I don't know, we'll see how we get on, see how many we can rank in our giant wall. But welcome. Ragav asked, what do you think of the latest United Originals stuff? Pretty cool. I think the biggest thing I would say is obviously, the immediate comparison there was, I was thinking of what Arsenal have had with Adidas. I always do find it funny though. I don't know if anyone else thinks this, but when the shirts look so similar to the originals, at first glance it looks the same. Obviously it's not the same, I'm sure, up close, but yeah, in short, I kind of like my remix to be a bit more distinct, because then at least, I don't know, maybe that's a wrong attitude, but I think you're gonna get people who are passing it off as the vintage stuff. And even if maybe it's just the label, I guess, is different. I suppose that's not so bad. But yeah, it's almost confusing. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but they look so close. I mean, end of the day, it's good that they look better. You've got the manufacturer logo. It's better than the score draw stuff. But yeah, I haven't done a proper comparison, but they look so similar. It's kind of made me laugh. But Thomas, thank you. It says hope you're well. In all honesty, I've still got a bit of a runny nose. I hate to, bit of TMI here. You can probably see my nose is looking a bit red on the screen. But no, I'm I feel really good. I was at the gym this morning. Not that I regularly go to the gym, but yeah, but I've just got a bit of a runny nose. So, hey, otherwise feeling fine. As I say, maybe too much information there, but and thank you, John Carr and Amzar. Yeah, 3K. It's really cool, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. As I say, this is the shirt. I showed it off on Twitter already. Odisha FC, another Hummel India shirt. So those who watched the eBay stream will know there was a giveaway, and you can still enter that giveaway. I'm going to leave that open till the end of the week. If you comment on Tuesday's eBay stream video, you'll be entered in to win a previous Hummel India shirt. This is another one. All you need to do, guys, be a subscriber. I'm sure you are already, but if you're not, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on the video, and then you entered. Let me know in the chat if you entered as well. That's always good to know. But yeah, this is another lovely Hummel India shirt. I really like that. I think it's a sponsor. This little guy here, he looks great, doesn't he? And it's just, this shirt is sneakily, it's got a nice, look at that pattern. A kind of a waveform pattern. I thought that was a stain, but it appears to be part of the design. But yeah, really, really nice, kind of low key, nice shirt. And if you've not got a Hummel India shirt, a Hummel Indian club shirt, this is your chance. So that's that one. Yeah, as I say, a kind of one of those. It's fully sublimated, so that's not for everyone. I get that, but I think it is quite sneakily quite smart, and I believe it's bespoke to the team. So there we go. Odisha FC. It's time to start supporting an Indian club. Also, I believe I can mute myself as I blow my nose because that was not particularly professional last time. So I'm just going to try that as we speak. There we go. That's better, isn't it? And also, guys, just quickly on a technical note, I noticed when I started the stream, YouTube was saying my the stream health wasn't optimal. So if I do drop out, I apologise. Do let me know in chat if that happens. Hopefully we're okay. Certainly the visuals and the sound should be better than they've been in the past. Now we're back in the studio. And before we get to the hot wall, a couple more comments. Haunted Voyager says New Balance unveiled the new Roma kit. They did. They certainly did. I think it's sneakily quite good. I think I've commented on Twitter, I'm not the biggest kind of one-button collar fan. Anyone who's a long-time viewer will know that. But that's more of a personal gripe. I do actually quite like the overall design. And I think, it would be good to... hopefully I'll get to see it in person at some point. In short, I kind of like it. I think for a home shirt, it's hard to innovate home shirts. But I do kind of like some of the ideas. Not for everyone, I get that. And maybe as time goes on I'll be less keen, but I believe they might be wearing it on pitch this weekend. I saw some rumours about that, so that's so pretty cool. I think I was a bit down on New Balance the last couple of years, but I've got more optimism now going into the main release season. And Thomas saying, "Oh goodness, that's nice. You turned me into a humble fanboy." Hey, that's my job. Happy to rope some more people in. And Thomas saying, "Enter this other one now. Now I need this one, mate. Enter both. It's possible you'll win both. I'm just going to do a random draw. So, it'd be pretty not harsh, but it would be sad for everyone else." And Haunted Voyager said, "I do miss Nike's Roma kits. I also miss them too." And very quickly, Amzar says, "What team do you support?" Phil, it's a good question, Amzar. I support Liverpool, but I do have kind of a fondness for several teams. Southend United is my kind of hometown team. That's where I was brought up, and I saw quite a few games growing up from them. And I've got kind of other fondness, for various teams around the world. So a few years ago, I was really getting into watching Freiburg, and they're obviously in the German Cup final, so that's really cool. I've got my yearly Freiburg shirt. I ordered that the other week. And I've got a few of them in my collection, and other teams that I just like to follow, even just because of their shirts. But Liverpool is my team. But yeah, there's lots of teams that I collect. We are switching over to there we go. You should be able to see the hot wall now. Now this is our giant tier list. The big thing here really is that we are adding every shirt release from this season into one list, ranked from what I think aren't particularly good shirts to my favourite shirts, ranked by hotness. So a very scientific rating. We've got the ice cube shirts, which we're calling them. These ones are the ones which are I wouldn't recommend buying, or just not to my taste, or just plain ugly. The candle tier, this is what we're calling our third tier. This is the kind of shirts which often they're decent, don't get me wrong, and there are some solid shirts in here, but again, whether it's personal taste or maybe an idea which I don't think has been really executed very well, maybe a bad sponsor, but otherwise a good shirt, that's the kind of thing in this tier. Now anything in these top two tiers, got the Flames tier, this is the good stuff here, and again, there's often not much separating this from the first tier. But yeah, there's some good stuff, and often stuff which you might not consider is very good, but I would recommend, stuff. You can see some MLS shirts here, which I actually really like, despite their simplicity. And you got some really good, some of the big names, AIK there. And then we got the Volcano tier. This is the top tier. This is the stuff which I would recommend highly, and some of it's in my own collection. Other stuff I'd love to pick up. But these are just straight up my favourite releases of the season for various reasons. So that's the hot wall. We, of course, need to rank some more shirts. So the biggest question is, and I should probably have a better system for this, but it's trying to remember where we left off last time. Now, we are going to go back quite a few pages. Now, did we? I think we did the Juve shirt, didn't we? Let's have a look. Again, the busier this list gets, the more tricky it's going to be. So here we go. There's the Juve shirt, which you ranked in the candle tier. And also just some comments. Alejandro says, "Welcome back." Hey, Alejandro. Thank you, my friend. Good to be back in the studio. Big plans. I've got some more videos coming very soon, and the streams are continuing. So yeah, thank you, brother. It's good to be back in the studio, as I say. Thomas said I missed Liverpool New Balance. Yeah, to be honest, there was some really good stuff from them. There really was. Now it's interesting. I feel like we did. Did we do the Real Betis shirt? Yeah, we did. We did the Real Betis. Okay, we might not be as far behind as I thought, guys. I think we might have left it with Real Betis, right? I don't think we've done Orlando Pride. And again, I really should just check where we left the last video. I'm pretty sure we haven't done. Let's just check maybe the next page. Oh dear. But I think we could catch up with page 1 today. Yeah, I don't think we've done no, we've not done these ones because I really like this one. Yeah, so let's pick up with Orlando Pride. Again, I'm pretty sure they've not been made. If they have, we can edit this out. Pretend this never happened. John Carr says, love Hummel's designs, but not so much the sublimated sponsor and badges. There's something about Hebrews vinyl that just belongs in the shirt. I completely agree, John Carr. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Hummel's shirts in the US and in places like India seem to be sublimated. It's a shame because it doesn't add. The only positive is that stuff won't come off in the wash, really, but that's kind of the only real positive with sublimation. And they tend to be cheaper. Brock says start with Orlando. Good stuff. So, Orlando Pride. This one, I think, what I like about this immediately is some of the details. Love this little detail here. That is excellent. These kind of little jock tags or little call outs are often some of the best things about some shirts. And the inside neck as well there. So this is, I think, already catching my eye. You know, you look at the shirt, it's not the most exciting kind of colorway. It's a relatively kind of plain colorway, but I do quite like that kind of grey. And honestly, I'm digging this. I think if it wasn't for these little details here in the inside neck and the jock tag area, I'd probably put this in the candle tier. But honestly, those ones have me thinking it will sneak into the flames tier. And this maybe speaks more to my kind of preference in shirts, but I like simple shirts which have a nice color combo and good details. This one reminds me a bit of, if I just cut this up quickly, this reminds me a bit of the was it the I'm trying to think which team it was now. San Jose Earthquakes. The similar colour to their away, which again had this really nice kind of side detail, which basically almost by itself put it in the flames tier. So I'm not thinking it's anywhere near the Volcano tier, but honestly, I would happily put this alongside some of the MLS shirts here. And it's not going to wow people, but I think with the details, it tips it over into the flames tier. I think this is a hot shirt. I think, you know, despite it looks to be a plain back, which is a real shame. But honestly, with these little details, really nicely designed. I like it. I like that pattern. It's obviously bespoke. You know, there's the whole NASA story. Pretty good. And actually, Brock, yeah, interesting shout. The sleeve sponsor, Ally, is the main shirt sponsor. That is true. Good spot there. Right, let's continue. We're going to get to the newest kits. This is good, guys. I thought we were way further behind. I think it has actually been a bit of a lull, but obviously things are picking up. We go to Brazil. Now, we've had many Brazilian lower league shirts. And, you know, in many ways, it's kind of like a lot of these brands. Volt has been a brand that's come up quite a lot. I've yet to be really excited, you know, by a lot of the designs. And part of it, I think, is more just a production thing than anything else. The quality seems to be lacking. The simplicity of this one, actually, I think is a positive. Particularly the fact you've got, I enjoy a simple crew neck and the cuffs. It is almost too simple though. You know, I'm not seeing the details which that Orlando shirt had. But it's certainly, you know, I think I'd put it in the Ice Cube tier, but the higher end of the Ice Cube tier, and maybe that's, you know, small consolation, but yeah, compared to some of the other Brazilian shirts we've seen, this one actually doesn't compare that bad. It's still way too simple though. It's still, you know, I think it's funny. This one goes in the Ice Cube tier. The Orlando one goes in the Flames tier. It's fine lines between those tiers, despite, you know, they share some similarities. But I think things like the pattern and the details of the Orlando elevates it. Whereas this one needs something to hang your hat on. But I would stick it, you know, something like the New England shirt there. That's sort of the level I'm thinking here. And Ballum saying Orlando and San Jose are two different areas of the country. Yes, they are indeed. Yeah, my US geography isn't great, but yeah, yeah, that's a good shout. And interesting how there are two Florida MLS teams. Yeah, I mean, it's like the NFL. You've got a few teams, of course, and many of the other leagues. Yeah, that's a big state for sport, that's for sure. And hello, Ballum. Hello, good to have you along the stream, mate. Warty says, when do you think most World Cup kits, I assume that should say, will be released? Probably. Well, I can't remember the latest rumours I've seen. I don't know specifics. I don't know any more than you guys. But I did see stuff around September, which is quite late. But I think because we've still got, well, because it's an odd one, really, isn't it? With the fact it's the Winter World Cup. But I think I saw September. That was something I saw in my head. I may be wrong there. And boxes, why do many shirts now have pads on the back? Difficulty with name and number, or is it cheaper to manufacture? I think it's primarily the name and number issue, Brock. I know certainly that was one thing which came up quite a lot in some other recent releases, and there are just more regulations, but it is a bit of a shame because often, I think you can get away with having a pattern on the back, and the shirts just look better usually. But yeah, it's an interesting one. You see some stuff like with Spurs where they've had their away shirt. The player issue, I believe, was blank, and the replica wasn't, for that reason, I think, for visibility and stuff like that. And I think actually that's quite a nice model, which would make the replica kits a little bit more attractive, because at the end of the day, most of them can be personalised anyway. And Ballum with the kits in July, I would think, because World Cup was in November time, maybe September. Yeah, July. It could be sooner than September. I wouldn't, quote me on that. This is an interesting shirt. GD Chavez. Now, I thought this would be a Portuguese kit because Lacatoni I believe they're Portuguese. And they've been a brand who have done some really nice shirts. They're kind of under the radar. I believe they largely look at Portuguese kits. Look at the sleeves here. Wow, that is a pattern and a half. And I really like that, honestly. It feels very, well, it's a standout pattern. One underrated element of this kit, I say underrated, you've probably never seen this before, but one element which could go unnoticed, I should say, is that pattern in the body. And we talked about patterns on the back. This is nice. And it's not top tier because there's, we talked about fully sublimated shirts. I think this one really, some shirts you kind of can get away, or you don't notice it as much, and you kind of think, okay, it's less of a kind of an issue, but this one, it really feels like it needs something, especially with that crest there. It's got all these nice intricate details. I'd like to see that. And similarly, the manufacturer logo isn't great. I mean, we're not going to pick them apart too much on that. But I think on the pattern, the sleeve pattern alone, and the pattern in the body, I think this is another one in the flames tier. I think this is, it could do with a little bit more quality, and I think then we could be looking at something higher. But it feels really fresh. It's something, in terms of the sleeve pattern, things we're looking for, guys. It's not just the craziness, but it has to just, I think, there's one thing to have a crazy pattern, but I think ultimately it needs to be aesthetically pleasing, both from a distance and up close. And I think this one holds up really well. When you look at that, you think, oh, that's quite interesting. And then you look at that, you see that it's a really, they've incorporated the sleeve sponsor there pretty well as well. But it's like, the crispness of the details, the color palette as well. Yeah, lots to like about this one. Honestly, I think you could easily put this higher in this tier. I'm going to stick it here. We're going to start overlapping shirts, aren't we? But I do not mind that one at all. Yeah, pretty nice. Haunted Void just saying such a weird World Cup this year. Yeah, that is true. I think that's an understatement, if anything. Now, guys, we can't really rank this one because it's a fictional team, and that is a shame because I do really like this. Obviously, it's Hummel, but yeah, I really like this design. I think honestly, this would have an outside contender at being a Volcano shirt. But it is a fictional team, and we're avoiding fictional teams. I mean, hopefully we've not put any. If we have, we can take them off. But and we're also avoiding goalkeeper shirts for the purpose of the hot wall. So it's a lovely shirt. And honestly, yeah, I think just for the pattern and I believe this is like tire marks, and the crest is as a bike. I don't know anything about this team, but as I say, they are fictional. So I've come across this before, and I look at it in long sleeves. I think it's really nice. But so if we were ranking that, probably high end Flames tier, if not the Volcano tier, if not the top tiers. Probably, I'm thinking it would have been in this kind of area. We will move on, sadly. As we move on, I'm going to grab a glass of water, so I'll take us to the pour screen. Need to remember my my shortcut for that. 1 second. Back. Thank you guys. I've got my water now. Let's continue. I'll just get us to the right scene. There we go. So, and quickly some comments as well. Previously, Thomas saying that maybe it's just specific rules and make the names difficult to distinguish. Yeah, I think that is the case, and certainly in things like international competitions, it's often stricter. Kind of depends on the league sometimes. And Brock commenting on the previous Chavez shirt, saying he loves the sleeve pattern. I'm with you there, mate. Now this shirt is one I'm very high on. I mean, I can tell you now, in terms of the basically, I actually love this, and it's a very simple design. But the thing I love the most is just that neckline and the cuffs. But that detail, for me, it's like top tier in terms of what I want to see from a collar. It's obviously inspired by mountains, and I don't know specifically. Obviously, Chile has many mountains. I don't know if is it the Andes. Yeah, so there we go. Which apparently you can see from the stadium of Universidad de Chile. But that in itself has me so excited, and it's kind of got this pixely vibe, which I actually really like. And there's a kind of, it's not quite white, it looks to be slightly off white, just ever so slightly. You know, if it was brilliant white, I think it wouldn't look quite as good. But it's got a hint of kind of cream there. It's not much, but it's enough. It's enough again to separate it. But I love the team crest and this detail they have. So honestly, this is one of my, this is actually, for me, it's a Volcano Tier shirt, which I think might be a surprise for some people. But I mean, one way I gauge this is, you know, if it's a shirt I'm actually trying to buy, and I'm trying to get this one at the moment. Sadly, a couple of leads in Chile haven't pulled through. But honestly, I really like this one. I think it's probably in the lower end of Volcano Tier. You know, I'm not saying this is one of the best shirts of the past few years, but when I look at all the releases, this is one I really like. I really like, you know, it's not just the collar, but the collar is certainly my favourite bit. I think if we end up seeing this on multiple teams, of course, it's less exciting. But this alone, it really is one of my favourites. And of course, being in the Volcano Tier and it being mountain inspired, that's a nice link, accidental link. And I love this from John Carl. John Carl said, "You already know where I stand on this shirt." And Joel is one of a few viewers who are, shall we say, not too keen on the white shirt. I think that's an understatement. Brock saying Universidad shirt pretty boring, but I like that cream colour. I wish more MLS teams did a cream off white instead of white away shirts. 100%. Like, this is such a subtle difference. It to most people they just say it's white, but it is slightly off white. It's ever so slightly cream. I'd probably like a little bit more yellow, a bit more cream in there, ever so slightly if I was being picky. But no, I really like this. Obviously, I mean, it's funny. For John Carlin lovers, we've got a few shirts here which are predominantly white, which is funny with the Denmark shirt. But yeah, this is my jam, guys. This is the kind of thing I really like. You've got good crest, you've got as I say, nice colours, and just these details. This neckline alone is just great. I love that pattern. I mean, again, to be picky, I like that to go all the way around the cuffs, that detail. And I'd like maybe a jock tag detail or an internet detail. That would take it a bit higher. But it is one of my favourite shirts of the season. So there we go. A rare Volcano Tier shirt, but it is there. And I really like this one. I don't think anyone would be as high on it as me. But yeah, this is my list, so my rules. But I'd love to know what you guys think. I've had some comments already, but if you agree or disagree. Because obviously these Volcano Tier shirts, there's not many of them. They don't come up often. And Box said maybe cream's the next big colour since black or gold and mint. And yeah, I think, Brock, honestly, there's been a few. There has been a few that have been on that colour scheme. Now we come to Corinthians, guys. This is a shirt which honestly kind of disappointed me. I think I'm really keen on Corinthians shirts in general. They've had some of the best shirts of the past 5 years. Think of the Senna shirt and other shirts which have been excellent. Obviously, this one has the latest dry fit ADV tech fabric, which I really like. But the thing which, and I've saw some people commenting on this, the shirt itself, the details or the placement of the crest and the swoosh, it feels a bit low. I think maybe it's just in the shots here, but you can see even here, it just doesn't seem to sit that nicely with Nike's shirt construction here. Now, I don't think this is a bad shirt. I like the colours involved here. They've obviously recolored the Corinthians crest as well. But I think, honestly, I'm not excited by this one. Despite, it's great to see it in dry fit ADV. And I do really like that. And Saheen, which I believe... the funny thing is, I've not had a donation like this before on the channel. I believe that's a donation. And thank you so much, Saheen, for that. That's incredibly kind, my friend. Really appreciate that. Genuinely, I don't even know if I've set up the donation feature properly. But I think that's what it is. You can see that I've got the lovely zombie zombie icon as well. But honestly, yeah, thank you so much, Saheen. Really appreciate that, my friend. So guys, I think you see that shot, and also the favela is here. That feels like a bit too few too many words going on that detail there. You got a kind of small sentence. Not so keen on that. Long and short is I just don't really like this shirt, and I feel like I should like it. We've ranked some of these. The Universidad de Chile one here. This one, honestly, I think it's barely getting into the... I think it's probably... That's not the one we want. I think... it's had some issues here with... when an image is too big, it doesn't save to my clipboard. And again, I've been meaning to fix that since we started this show. And I've still not done that. Alas, we would do it this way. And just as well on some comments, talking about I think this is about the Universidad de Chile. Thomas saying the home is better. John Carl saying I like the Colin Cost, but that's it. Haunted Voyager, it's kind of boring. Now those comments might have been on the Corinthians as well. I don't know. But yeah, I think yeah. When I look at this one, when I see it on Willian here, you get a nice shot of the dry fit ADV, which is nice. I think honestly it's going to have to go in the higher end of the camel tier. It's definitely one of the better ones in this tier, And I think you could make an argument for it being over here. I don't think there's much separating it there. But this is my gut feeling. I'm going to put it here. Okay, about Corinthians. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the home, Thomas. But I know the one you're referring to, the away, the black one. And Haunted Voyager said the new Nike helmet does seem to be a bit problematic for some designs. That's my feeling too. Haunted Voyager. That I think it just, again, this isn't a very flattering shot, but just seeing like where that sits on the shirt, it doesn't lend itself well. Honestly, I think this probably needed something like a higher neck as well, or something to make it feel a bit fresher. Yeah, not really that excited about this one. Now we've got another Nike shirt. This time, hello Andres, good to see you, my friend. We've got Kansas City Current. Now, the first thing I think of when I see this pattern is it reminds me of the last iteration of Nike's player issue shirts, that being the vape in it, of course. So before Dry Fit ADV, I say the last. So we've had a couple of years now. We've had a year of Dry Fit ADV. So the previous year, talking 2020, 2021. I'm sure some of you know you can dissect my my very jumbled speech. This reminds you of that, the fingerprint, I should say, pattern. It feels like it's made for that, and it's a real shame actually we don't have that. But that, that would be one thing I'd like to see, and I think it could really lend itself well. As is, the color combination is very interesting to me. I'm not seeing many shirts with the white, red, and light blue. I'm not sure I like the combo, but it's not one I've seen a lot, and I do appreciate that. I feel like, is it the flag of Chicago? I feel like I've seen. Okay, yeah. So this again, this just reminds you of that, and I know we're looking at Kansas City, so not Chicago. But that's what it makes me think of. It's a bit different. Obviously, that's a slightly more bluey blue, but you get my point. That's what it makes you think of. But things like the crest, I'm not too excited by that design. Honestly, I think it's more of a fun idea than anything else. I think I would stick it in the Volcano Tier. I believe it's bespoke to the team, and that's nice. And again, there are nice elements here. For whatever reason, I think maybe if the pattern bled onto the sleeves, I'd be digging it a bit more. I think it's probably just the colours as well, guys. The colours, I don't think it's that nice of a combo, even though it's a bit fresh. And just some comments as well. Ollie's saying, keep up the good work, Phil. Love your stuff. Thank you so much, Ollie. Really appreciate it. What I'm doing, I couldn't do what I'm doing without the support of people like yourself. So really, really appreciate comments like that. Thank you, my friend. And some other comments about Haunted Voyager. Talk about, simple can be great. Like it when Valencia just goes black and white, but not every club can put it off. Spot on. I would agree completely with that. And I think sometimes things like colours, some teams just are blessed with better colourways and they can get away with more simple shirts. You can probably hear my stomach rumbling as well. I need to have some food soon. Thomas saying Dry Fit seems to be saving grace for a lot of Nike shirts this season. Agreed. Again, I think that is true. And Ollie as well, some more kind comments saying, find the channel so interesting, so relaxing, almost therapeutic. That is exactly the kind of vibe I want to get. I'm not into the kind of big hype stuff. I might do some stuff occasionally, but I hope this can be a channel. And certainly when the longer form videos start coming out again, you guys will, hopefully be reminded of the kind of the genesis of the channel, the beginning of the channel, which was these kind of slightly more longer form, informative stuff. If you're into shirts at a deeper level, and maybe you're a collector and you like the kind of, talking about collecting, at a slightly deeper level, that's what I want to go for. So thank you again. And anyway, back to the shirt. Thomas saying the joint graphic looks nice, but the red outline and odd light blue pattern does seem to work. I do think they're onto something. I think there's an idea there. And I believe the funny thing is it supposed to be waves? I'm not really getting waves from it, honestly. It feels more like a fingerprint to me, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe, for sure. I've not set my mute button on this scene, so apologies if I do blame. As I say, don't want to go into details, but I do seem to everybody knows I feel fine though, so we'll continue. And some more comments. And again, guys, I'm often quite slow to read the comments, but it's always good to have them. Hortivoid saying they've got some things going for it, but the plain white stains kind of kill it. I think they do hurt it as well, indeed. Ollie's saying quite a clean sponsor, but looks a little high up. Yeah, I don't mind a high sponsor. I actually kind of like that, but it does feel a bit high. But honestly, I'd rather it was a bit higher than a bit low. That's my take. And Joe saying like that you're including women's teams. Absolutely. You know, even though I wouldn't claim to be a women's football expert by any means, and I don't actively watch women's football, it is football at the end of the day. And I think, you know, we have to respect that, and it should be, you know, it shouldn't be seen as secondary or lesser in any way. And actually, from a shirt perspective, often women's team shirts are better than the men's team shirts. So I think we should include them. That's my take anyway. On that subject, boxes, do you have a favourite NWSL shirt? So let's have a look, Bob, because I'm just going to refer to our tier list here and see if we've got any in the top 2 tiers. And again, I'm just scanning through. I might miss it as I'm doing this because I am doing this kind of on the fly. So the Orlando Pride one might be the best one so far, I think. And again, I might have missed one as I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. But there, of course, there's others that we haven't ranked, so there may be one that pips it. But yeah, off the top of my head, I mean, I do really like, in previous years, Paul and Thorns have had some of my favourites. This year's ones are relatively muted, but I do still like their shirts. They're a team I often look out for when it comes to the NWSL. But yeah, good question. Now we come to Warsaw. In fact, before we get to Warsaw, some more comments, because I want to be a bit quicker than I am at the moment. Anderson was able to get to FC Cincinnati's away shirt last night when the Reds beat them 5-1 in the US Open Cup. Very nice. I can't remember what that shirt looks like. But nonetheless, that was great. Ballum saying your women's team shirt size will be lit and we'll get views. Yeah, it's funny, Ballum. I need... So the idea, I started, you know, putting it together. I think maybe I just go with a couple of brands because I wanted to get a few different brands. I think that video might take a bit longer to come out, but I do want to do that at some point. I think it's an interesting topic. But yeah, thank you. You've been keeping me honest and keeping me accountable by reminding me of that one, Ballum. And just saying, still got to catch up with the last few Hotwell episodes. I don't know if you already talked about it. So if it's this one here, if that's the away shirt, I have, and I did actually really like that one. I did. It surprised me because when I first saw it, I was like, I'm not too keen, but I really like the embossed details and the choice of the metallic numbers and details. I think really worked. So if that's the one you talk about, great shirt. Yeah. So we come back to Warsaw now. This one, honestly, guys, I don't like it. Many of you will know I'm not keen on word-based details. That's a funny way to put it, but when you've got things, and you often see this on like anniversary shirts, we've got, you know, people's like season ticket holders' names or something. It's just not an aesthetic I really like. And you know, there's stuff I do like. You know, the collar and cuffs, very simple, but I do like that approach. Obviously, many people joked about the Poundland sponsor. You know, despite the jokes about it, I think it's fine. It's nothing, you know, but I can understand the banter, of course. I think the fact it's on the back as well, though, I'm not keen on that. You know, you've already got the front of shirt sponsor. You see this a lot on like, especially like Mexican shirts and stuff like that. I don't really like that. Just to have the kind of doubling up of the same sponsor. But yeah, I just don't like this shirt. And it is largely because of those details, that the pattern on the front there. And again, we've got the same issue with our clipboard. So let's do. Again, if anyone knows how to increase the clip, I think it's related to the clipboard. I might be completely wrong, but I'll have to Google it. Oh dear. Yeah. So. And Ballum commenting saying the Poundland Brackish Dollar Store sponsor is simple but good, got more attention. I think it has, although certainly most of the attention I've seen has been people mocking the sponsor. At least that's what I saw from the initial release. But you know, if we're judging it on aesthetics, it's fine. It's not offensive. It's not a positive, but it's also not taken away from the design. But yeah, unfortunately, I just don't like the shirt. I don't like that pattern. It's just something I'm not keen on. I'm not keen on these kind of word. I don't know how else to put it. Word-based subliminal patterns. So there we go. And we've got some, of course, the away and the third kit. So we'll get to those now. But before we do, some more comments. Bot mentioned the Utah Royals 2020 shirt. Again, let's Google it. Utah Royals 2020 shirt. I don't have any memory of that one. Nice. Very nice. I feel like I do remember seeing pictures of this at the time, actually. Bit of a kind of, almost like a Slovenia kind of vibe. You got the mountains on the front. Yeah, really nice, to be honest. Yeah. I'd like to see probably maybe the mountains on the sleeves as well. That could look really cool. But yeah, in short, pretty nice. Pretty sweet. And some more comments here. Seb saying, hello friend, new to the channel and football shirt collecting after picking up the £14 sports store at Liverpool shirt. I remember how much I love shirts as a kid. Seb, that's what it's all about, my friend. Those kind of pickups can spark a real passion for collecting. So welcome to the channel. There's some, if you've not seen them already, there's loads of videos. There's some good stuff about starting a collection. That's some of my most popular videos. But thank you, Seb. If you've got any questions, my friend, just leave a comment in the chat or on the video. And yeah, hopefully there'll be some content and just, that you can learn from and you can just enjoy. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your comment as well. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, Seb. But thank you, my friend. Let's continue, guys. Thank you for your comments in your chat. It's been busy. It's slowed me down on my rankings. I'm not very good at. I still need a second screen. That's one thing I don't have in my setup yet. I'm still using my phone to read your comments. Maybe I could set up a thing. I could sort that out. That's something for another day. We come to Warsaw here. The funny thing is, guys, I actually kind of like this, and it's a very interesting kind of cutout crest here. I kind of like what they've done there. But the kind of, I think it has a kind of vibe of like some sort of, I don't know, kind of a uniform, like I'm imagining someone at like a fishmonger's or something, and that's a really random reference, but I feel like there's something about this look which, not fishmonger. I'm trying to think what it is where, they have these kind of stripy uniforms, or maybe it's like a barbershop thing. I'm not sure. That very jumbled train of thought aside, I like this a lot more than the home shirt, and actually I'd be happy to put this one in the Volcano tier. I think as an away shirt, it complements the home quite well, and I think I actually quite like the aesthetic. Even those red lines there, I don't really, it's kind of like almost like a kind of braces look. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I do actually kind of like this one. So I'm going to just trim that a bit more. We can stick that, as I say, in the Volcano tier. So there's compared to the home, I'd take this over the home any day of the week. I quite like that, and I think the key here, the reason it's not in the Ice Cube tier, is because you've got those stripes all the way across the sleeves as well. Now, hopefully they're on the back, but even if they're not bad at all. We'll happily stick that one in the gap there. So, some more comments, guys, and thank you. I can see some subscribers flying in. Thank you. Again, my screen setup is not conducive to seeing what's going on here. But thank you for those who are subscribing. Also, some comments. Enrique, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, not seen you for a couple of videos, mate, but glad to have you in the chat once again. And apologies, guys, as I blow my nose. I still don't know what's up, but feeling good nonetheless. And Haunted Voyager, I love this, saying, I just like hanging out at shirts the secondary. Honestly, mate, so do I as well. And that's one of the things I love about these streams, having this kind of chat. And yeah, that's, it's part of the fun for me is just hanging out, as you say. And I'm glad we've got that vibe here. Lots of you guys do stop by from time to time. It's great. And I love your opinions, your insight. it's one of the best things about shirts. When I talk to people about why shirts are so good, it brings people together. It's a common thing we have that we share in common is an interest in shirts. And that's a pretty special thing. Across countries, across ages, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Enrique saying, will we get to the Manto de Massa? We might do. Although, it's funny, because of my kind of slowness in responding to comments, we often aren't going through as quick as we would like. Let's come to this shirt, the third shirt now for Warsaw. I think of the three, I'd probably position this one between the away and the home. The colourway feels a bit drab, and I'm not too sure about the pattern. Honestly, I think this one just feels a bit dated. When I see like elements like, it's funny, this reminds me a lot of the kind of, the early noughties Adidas shirts, which had the same sort of vibe with the netting and the kind of the holy details. But I think the colours, honestly, just again the black. I love black and love green, but together it's hard. I think it's often doesn't really work. So I think I'm right in saying this is a combo the club have had before. I think it might be. As is, I'm going to stick it in the ice cube tier. I hate to say it, but I don't think it's a great slate of kits for Warsaw. We'll stick it in the higher ends of that tier, but that's where I would put it personally. Yeah. And Enrique said the 1 hour difference from daylight savings kind of messed up my schedule. Oh, mate, no bother. And I mean, honestly, yeah, I know this time it's not good for everyone, but the fact that people still are able to watch it on catch up and stuff is really cool. But I mean, guys, if a lot of you are saying actually another time would be better, we could move it. I do enjoy doing these afternoon ones. We've got the evening on the Tuesday and the afternoon one today. I kind of like that balance rather than having 2 evening streams or 2 afternoon streams. But please let me know if another time is particularly better. And Andres saying, I couldn't agree more, Phil. It's a universal language and appreciation shirts that bring back memories. Exactly. I was actually, in fact, little spoiler. Well, hopefully I'm going to be in an article on the BBC, which is amazing. That's going to be a real career highlight. But I spoke to a journalist from BBC about why shirts are so popular, and that's the kind of thing I was talking about. Oh, yes. Now, guys, we talked about NWSL shirts. This is a doozy. Now, that's a word I've not said before. But I really like this. I really like this pattern. I mean, it's the kind of thing where, you look at it up close, think, not really sure what's going on there. But, we've got a series of stars. I actually really like that. The sponsor, it kind of commands a lot of attention because of the red, but it is what it is. I think this is really good. I'm not going to get overly excited by it. I think from a colour perspective, even though it's a bit like the Kansas one where it feels quite fresh. It's not my favourite colour combo, but I do just really like this. The contrast cuffs and the little neck there. The only thing I would say when I compare this one, when I look at this one up close, it's kind of jarring to see this nice orange on the crest and then a different shade, a kind of gold shade here. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it stops the shirt from feeling as synergistic. But being very picky, I think this is a hot shirt. I think this is definitely in the Flames tier, and I actually think I like this more than the Orlando shirt we saw earlier. So there we go. Another strong NWSL showing. I think this is really good. I think this is, the pattern again, which I believe is bespoke, looks nice. It's got a lot of depth to it. You look at it from a distance and you really see those stars, but then up close, it kind of has a nice aesthetic as well. So we're going to stick this one, just straight up in the Flames tier. I think this is so far one of my favourite NWSL shirts so far. I'm just saying, do you have an idea when the article might come out? I'm hoping pretty soon. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks. I'll certainly share it on Twitter when it does. And Bam saying the scenes with Phil from Vocalno will be on a news article in the near future. Mate, that's the dream. We're getting there. I was on the BBC briefly last year around the Euros, which was really cool. But they didn't put my name on the screen, which I was gutted about. But that was a huge moment for me. Yeah, that was a real dream, to be honest, to be on BBC Breakfast. And yeah, hopefully some more good stuff to come. I like this from Pogmagar saying slight USA 94 denim kit vibes. Yeah, there was a bit of that. And Ian saying, I like that green and black Warsaw shirt, would be delighted if I was able to pick it up at Poundland at the end of the season. Yeah, mate, if you get it at Poundland, you would be loving that, to say the least. We would all be loving that for £1. But yeah, honestly, I put it in the ISU tier. I don't think it's bad. It's just not to my taste. Flamengo. Now, the Flamengo home shirt, I believe we put it pretty high. Yeah, we put the home shirt. It was one of my favourite shirts so far. You know, if you look at that, that's probably top 20, give or take. The away, Flamengo away shirts, they do seem to be quite formulaic year after year. Now, the pattern here, there is a subliminal pattern, or it looks to be embossed actually, which is nice, and it ties in thematically with the home, which had this similar flag waving theme. Honestly, I think this is the kind of shirt you look at it first, you think that has nothing about it. But that, you know, obviously this is the sponsors version. It looks good, and because it ties in with the home, I think that automatically makes you think we could have at least a Volcano Tier shirt. I think that's probably the end of it though. But again, if you see the home, you can see this. I like when there's a shared theme between a home and an away, and the way that's been achieved here as an embossed pattern, I think is smart. Now, there isn't much else about this shirt. And again, Flamengo shirts, they do tend to be quite, away shirts particularly, well, and the home, but the away tends to be quite similar. We get some comments from Enrique and Thomas, not Flamengo fans, it's fair to say. Oh, man. So, yeah, guys, unfortunately, yeah, the home I did quite like. This one, I think, we'll stick it in the Volcano Tier. And actually, I think it has more about it because of that embossed pattern than it might appear at first glance. And also, if the home shirt was completely, I don't know, some other completely different idea, and then you saw this away shirt, it's less exciting. But because you've got a shared, that flag waving theme throughout the home and away, I like that. A bit of shared storytelling is never a bad thing. So I would actually put this, again, in the Volcano Tier, despite maybe it not appearing as good at first glance. Brock said, have you ever thought of starting a podcast? Thomas said, this is effectively a podcast already. Yeah, that's the thing. I have thought about a podcast, and I really have thought long and hard. I think the hardest thing for me is if you start a podcast, that's another platform to grow. Whereas on you, I'd like to grow this YouTube a bit more, you know, and then kind of hopefully maybe start a podcast at one point when they're a bit more established in the industry. But yeah, that's my thinking. And I think that's the thing. Even though it's hard to do a podcast about shirts as well when you can't show pictures of shirts. But yeah. And John Carr saying Flamingo's supposed to be pink. They are, mate. They are. We're Sword Madison when you need them. Now, guys, this Leon shirt, I really think there was some potential here. When I saw the colours here, this kind of, I almost want to call it like a hot blue. I know it, I mean, you see it on these renders, it's a lot less vibrant and exciting, but you see on some of these promo shots, it is like really popping, that blue with the red. But the design on the body, this is the fall shirt for next year, I believe. They did wear it, I think, or they at least sold it. Yeah, with this one, I'm again, the colour, and the funny thing is, I think this is just a catalogue colourway. I think this is just from Adidas's My Team catalogue in terms of the blue. I might be wrong, but someone mentioned that on Twitter. So yeah, I like that vibrancy of the blue and the red, and the pattern, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't hate it. It feels like the kind of pattern that's better in maybe on the side of the shirts or on the sleeves than it is on the body. There's some nice details, but in short, I think it's probably just in the Volcano Tier, but not any more than that. And I really think, again, with these colours, it sounds silly. There's tons of blue shirts in the world, but just that vibe, the sheer vibrancy of it with the red, I think has some potential. And the little soft gold, yeah, I think they're onto something there, but it just doesn't come together as well as it could for me. So I do, on the basis largely of the colours alone, we'll stick it in the Volcano tier, but that's kind of where I would put it. And Enrique, thank you, mate. It says congrats on the 3K. Yep, it's a small milestone, but this is it, guys. Like we're starting something great here. I think it might take years, but hopefully when the content's a bit more regular, why can't we be a bigger channel and grow it together? But thank you, mate. And so he's saying, if I'm a football club owner, I probably want sponsors to match the shirts. Accent colour for the aesthetics. Yeah, that generally I would say the same as well, mate. Yeah. Thomas saying, like this, I know Phil hates a gradient. Oh, mate, it's true. The thing is, this sort of gradient, I would say, I like more than just a straight gradient. I think when a gradient's been, but yeah, no, I still don't like it that much. What am I talking about? It's like a Chelsea blue from the 80s. It is kind of it, isn't it, Thomas? Yeah. So, guys, coming to my favourite manufacturer, Hummel. Odense or Odense, I don't know how you say the name, but this one I think is sneakily good. I've said that a few times today, sneakily good, but it's a very simple premise here, blue and white stripes. But the reason I like this is that you've got all the way stripes all the way down the back, which you just don't see a lot these days. And the sponsor incorporation could be better, but it's fine. I kind of don't mind the box that it's in there. I think this isn't a very exciting shirt, but I think it's well put together as a home shirt. I'd be interested to see. I don't think it would necessarily look better, but I'd be interested to see what the shirt would look like with stripes on the sleeves as well. I think it might be a bit too much, but this is a hot shirt for me. This is, again, it feels like a lot of home shirts where if you're a striped team, there's only so much you can do, but I don't mind that detail, the year detail on the bottom there. It's a nice little thing, and you can see here what looks to be a nice raised plastic Hummel manufacturer logo. Small thing, but we talked about sublimation today. Sam says Tesco value. That's funny. It is a bit of Tesco value. You know what it actually is. Oh man, so we've had Poundland today. Tesco value here. Looks like a Hertha shirt is in. Yeah. Hertha Berlin, that is the vibe, isn't it? I think that's a shout. But yeah, I like this. Despite, I don't think it's necessarily going to be one that people are going to call out as a great shirt. But I do think the little things make this one. A lot of these shirts in the Flames tier, in the second tier, it comes down to just the execution of the idea. We've got some striped shirts in these first two tiers, and they just don't look as quality. They don't look as good in my eyes, and this one I think actually has some potential. I think this one would look good in the collection. I actually think the choice of red, despite the Johnny says Safeway as well. Yeah, that's the thing. It has definitely has a retail vibe, but I like it. I do like it, and things like the application of the Hummel crest, Hummel logo, they make a difference. Couple more comments. Brock saying, have you done a video, broadly speaking, ranking football shirt manufacturers? So Brock, I haven't, but that is one idea. The next Phil's Corner episode is going to be about the best leagues in the world for shirts. So where is the best league in the world for shirts? I'm going to do that, which is going to be fun. So actually a manufacturer one would be a natural next episode as well. So I really like that shout. Thoughts on Macron? In short, I think Macron, honestly, I think they were on a real high a couple of years ago, and they're not quite where they could be at the moment. That's my take. That's my short take. Emilio said, are you going to Denmark to record more Hummel stuff? I am. Yes, I'm going to be in Copenhagen. Really looking forward to it. I've been to Denmark before, but I've not been properly to Copenhagen, so I'm really excited. And I'm happy that Behind the Shelves is continuing. I'm hopefully going to be getting some sneaky previews of some kits from next year, so I won't tell you any more about that, but should be really fun. Let's continue. Now, Hajduk Split. I can't name many clubs out of Croatia, but this is certainly one I know of. Immediately, the things that grab you, of course, they've got a great crest. Couldn't be much more Croatian, could it? I think we're on to Macron. We talked about Macron just now. Obviously, with a shirt like this feels like almost like an away. It is their home shirt, but it feels like a kind of classic away shirt when it's predominantly white. But there's some things I like about this one. I think, despite the simplicity of the collar and cuffs, it matches perfectly, and I actually quite like this sort of style. It's not unique to the team by any means, but you see a lot of things like this where you've got simple kind of stripes or pinstripes within the collar and cuffs. I think it actually looks really good, and again, because it's matching, that's excellent. We talked before about how it's nice when applications match a crest or that sort of thing, and this is really nice where you've got what seems to be, if not a direct match, a very close match between the blue and the red. So I think little things, these are all positives, guys. The back neck detail, aesthetically, I don't love it, but it's completely fine. I think I'm just not that huge on embroidered details, but that's not to take away too much from it. I think this is another hot shirt. There's Kalinic. That's a player I've not seen for a while. Not looking too happy to be there, but this is a hot shirt. And actually, the more I look at this, the more I like this. Another white shirt for you there, John Carl. One for you to enjoy. Guys, this is like, I think when I first saw this, and again, this was my first time seeing it, just as we're scrolling through, I could kind of take or leave it. It's not revolutionary, but I do think this is pretty good. I don't know who Tommy are, but that's a very kind of dominant sponsor. But yeah, they've got the colours spot on there, and the matching collar cuffs. And this to me is a kind of textbook away shirt, and it is their home shirt. So I'd love to see their away, see how that matches. But this one, I think, the more I look at it, the more I think it actually does a lot of things well. It is simple, but I think it's a hot shirt. Maybe I'm just feeling pretty good today, but there's been a few shirts which we've put in the Flames tier. Enrique said, wasn't Kalinic kicked out of the national team for refusing to get subbed on? Yeah, there was that. There was a story around that. I can't remember, honestly. But yeah, there was something like that. And Carl has been away for a bit. Hope all are well. Carl, great to see you again, mate. And we've missed you, but thank you for stopping by. And doing good. Great to be back in the studio. I've got my microphone back, got my lights back, and there's some good stuff in the pipeline. And Zaheen saying simplicity isn't a bad thing. Completely agree, Zaheen. Completely agree. I think, guys, let's finish. Let's do at least this page and maybe the other one. So we're not quite caught up, but we're close. I think we will be caught up. If we do it, I think all being well, I'm going to be flying back from Copenhagen on Wednesday. So we'll do a big stream on Thursday. I can tell you about my trip and let you guys know how it went. We are going to Mansfield Town. Now, Surridge, quite a small brand who have been doing some work in the lower leagues of England. This shirt is quite interesting. Now, I'm not that keen on the full blue kit, but obviously we're just reviewing the shirt here. I like the look of this pattern. It's funny. This looks very kind of like a play on some of those kind of late 80s, early 90s Adidas patterns. I'm thinking shirts like the United away, the snowflake design, these kind of repeating geometric patterns. It's a really nice aesthetic, and the colour isn't doing too much for me, but I do actually like that pattern. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, the details here play quite nicely in the fact they're just white. And we talked about collar and cuffs on the last shirt. We've got a nice combo there. So this is, I think, actually quite good. It's hovering. It might even get into the Flames here. Let's have a look. Sometimes I've got to kind of, I'm trying to review these shirts literally in a matter of seconds, and it's sometimes a case of just looking at what else. Would I take this shirt, this Mansfield shirt, over some of the shirts here? I don't think I would, but I would. For me, it's in the higher end of the Canal tier, and I do think probably in a slightly like the color isn't doing much for me. Maybe it's just reminding me too much of City. I don't know. As a Liverpool fan, that's not a good thing. But we'll stick it here. I think it's yes. Thomas just said Man City. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm not as keen. And Enrique said nice colour. Yeah, no, I think this is actually pretty good. I do like that pattern. It's just not quite doing it for me. Talking to City, we've got Cork City. Wow, this is very simple. It looks to be literally a black shirt. Now, I'm trying to find something here. I've said before this phrase, to hang your hat on. Something to hang your hat on. Something to give you a reason to collect this shirt, to buy this shirt. I mean, if you like black shirts, this ticks the box. And the funny thing is, despite how simple it is, there's nothing I would actively say is a bad thing about it. It just lacks character. It lacks details. And I think for that reason, like I'm trying to read here. No, I don't think. And the thing is, there's nothing like a detail, or even the sponsor isn't helping it particularly. This has to go in the Ice Cube tier, guys. I want to say it's a cool crest. Yeah, the crest is fine. I think, Cork City have had some great shirts historically as well. They had an amazing run with Adidas in the 80s and 90s, where they basically got all the best Adidas templates. They'll never be able to reach those heights again, I don't think. But the thing is, we've said before, simple shirts can be good, but there's very little to excite me. I think I would still take it above several shirts in this tier, and I'll probably put it on the higher end of the tier just because black shirts, even at a baseline, aren't bad. But I think, John Carl's summing up well. Looks like a Sunday League shirt. I think it basically does. Boxing, there are some really nice black and white shirts. This one not so much. Yeah, that's kind of thing. Joe, good to see you, Joe. Hope you're well, mate. Ian Wood saying classic Adidas. Honestly, rather than being a bad shirt, this is just a boring shirt. That's the way I look at it. And, plain shirts, there are some plain shirts in the higher tiers, but they've got a nice detail. Maybe just the material looks great. Something like a dry fit ATV can elevate a shirt. But yeah, we'll move on from that one. Now, Sporting Laquenio. This is Kyrgios. Boys, Kyrgios. Now, the reason I like Kyrgios is that they've really exploded onto the scene. And one of my friends on Twitter, Gustavo Sonkovic, I think that's how you say his name, one of the best concept kit designers of the past few years, who's recently got a designing gig with Kyrgios, and I like this one a lot. Now, I think the first thing to say is that this appears to be an anniversary shirt. Yes, it's an anniversary shirt. It's a special shirt, and they really have pulled out all the stops here. I believe this is the same team who had a similar kind of. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure we ranked one of them, if certainly in one of the higher tiers. I might be getting confused with another Kyrgios team though. I'm not going to spend too much time because the busier this list gets, the harder it is to find shirts I'm thinking of. But regardless, what I like about some of these Kyrgios designs is the real attention to detail. And this is where you can see Gus's kind of background as a concept kit designer. And this one I think is really good. It almost entirely blue. It's almost like a blue out shirt. You never got black out shirts. But this is really good. I think, again, little things that they've got. It's not just sublimated applications as well. A bit of plastic, I think, which is nice. These sorts of shirts can often be ruined by a dodgy collar. I don't think this takes away too much. And yeah, a lot of sponsors, but they've incorporated it as best as they can. I don't think, for whatever reason, I'm not as excited by it as some of the other shirts, which have a similar vibe, but I think borderline Volcano is that's kind of what I'm thinking. And Thomason, I like everything the same color, but it isn't really visible. This one I think is definitely in the Flames tier, and it's probably in the top half. That's not what we want. Again, having to do the old trick here. Yeah, this one I think, it's definitely in the Flames tier. When we've got a pattern list now, the thing is, having the pattern within this section of the shirt, I'm not like absolutely loving the way, even though it is nicely pattern matched, the way it goes into the sleeves, it's not maybe my favorite kind of pattern placement, if I can put it like that way. Like, it looks a bit clunky not having it, kind of cutting off here. And also this area feels like unrealized potential. I'd maybe like to see honestly, maybe the continuation of the pattern I think might look better. But I'm nitpicking here. This is a great shirt, and then I'd happily put this one in, as I say, the higher end of the Flames tier. Ian saying wins by having such a same colour sponsorship. Yeah, that is a big win. That is a big positive here. So we will stick this one, as I say, in the Flames tier and in the higher end of the Flames tier. I'm trying to align this one here. Why is that not going there? We can just. I'm being a bit OCD, really, just trying to. Yeah, there we go. These are all different sizes anyway. I don't know why I'm bothering. This is great. This is a really good shirt, and I'm happy to put it in as one of the better shirts you've seen so far. And I think, you know what, let's end on a highlight. Let's end on that one. So guys, we've seen a lot of good shirts today. I think it was one of the better days, honestly. A couple of good NWSL shirts. We've had a few options in the Flames tier, and I snuck in another shirt in the Volcano tier. I really like this Universidad de Chile shirt, despite being a white shirt. But that's the hot wall as it is currently. So I'll make sure I save this document. And it continues to get busier, and we've got some big shirts to come. I mean, next week, all being well, I can give you a preview. Obviously, we've had some big releases. We've had Liverpool, Bayern Munich. So we'll be ranking those next week, hopefully. Roma today. So, the Manto de Massacre, Rangers. So, and I can tell you now, there's going to be a Volcano t-shirt at least. I won't tell you which one. You'll have to come back next week. But that is, that is the hot wall, guys. And thank you so much. It's been a really fun episode. There's some great chat. There's some really, really good insights, some great opinions flying about. And I'm just blown away, guys. Just some of your comments about, your support for the channel. For someone like me, I'm quite a small fry here on YouTube, but it's all about you guys, the community. So thank you. And on that note, we've got a giveaway. For those who missed out the announcement at the start, all you need to do is leave a comment on the video and be a subscriber, and you'll be entered in to win this lovely Odisha FC shirt. This is a team out of India, and it's a Hummel shirt, a Hummel India shirt. A really nice shirt. Look at the pattern, guys. Look at that pattern on the bottom. That actually might be it looks like a pen mark, honestly. I don't know if that's from me or from where it came from, but anyway, regardless, great shirt. But thank you to Zaheen. Thank you, Haughty Voyager, Brock. So safe travels to Copenhagen. See you next week. Thank you, my friend. Guys, I'll be taking some pictures. I'll share them on Twitter. But yeah, as I say, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a comment. And you can also, there's another giveaway from Circa88. So thank you to Circa88 Football. I'm going to be doing some giveaways with them and promoting some of their stuff. They've been really generous, sent over a bunch of shirts. So thank you to them. You can also win another shirt. Not this one, another shirt. In fact, I've got it here. Hyderabad FC. So you can win. So leave a comment on the last video. That's the eBay stream to win this shirt, Hyderabad FC. Comment on today's video. Gets you in with the entered in to win this shirt. So 2 Hummel India shirts. These are great. These are both really nice shirts. Hyderabad FC, Odisha FC. Chances to win them. All you need to do is leave a comment and be a subscriber. That's it, guys. So he says, not gonna lie, that is a nice shirt. Yeah, it surprised me actually how nice it was. But thank you Thomas, thank you everyone who's watched this. It's been a really fun one. All being well, so we won't be around Tuesday. I'll be away, but we'll be back hopefully next week for that wall. On your way out, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and you can support me on Patreon if you want to support me further. And there's a really nice community on Slack where we're doing lots of really cool stuff. But honestly, just by watching, you guys are a huge support to me. So thank you. But if you want to go further, details in the description. That'll do it for today. I will stick us on the outro scene. You can hear me playing some guitar. My dissertation at university was basically to make some music, which is a bit silly, really, isn't it? But that was a song from there. That's where one of the songs on this channel comes from. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for your time. Great to hang out, guys. I'll see you soon for another video. All the best. you.